Hey Kate, it's Robert Plank from MakeAProduct.com, and you wrote in that you had an idea for a book on having a prepared home and creating basic backup plans. So I don't really know exactly what that means, but I'm going to look up those keywords and see what we get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close down some tabs. I'm going to open up Amazon, and I'm going to say, what was that? Prepared home backup plans. And I'm also going to search your name to be, I don't know if like preparedness would come up, just so we can see if you have like a blog or a website. So looks like we have some of that stuff. So we have a few tabs open, and I'm seeing like a business backup plan, disaster backup planning, family emergency plan. So I'm guessing that's sort of what is the closest to what you're talking to me about. We're still waiting for your blog to come up. So a family emergency plan, medicines, blankets, stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we see there's the disaster preparedness book, handbook to practical disaster. There's the vaccine stuff. There's well, that one's not selling too well. Not selling too well. Food storage, emergency bag, the bug out bag, the family plan for emergencies, and so we can see that like some of these are selling really well, and some are just duds. And I'm thinking that it looks like the ones that are, well, first of all, the ones that look out of date and the ones that look kind of generic look to be like the ones that aren't selling, and the ones that are about like the family disaster. So I'm seeing like disaster preparedness. And so having seen that, I'm going to take another look at your message and see if this is clicking for me now. So prepared home, reducing stress, simple planning, creating basic backup plans. So I'm just going to assume that that's what we're talking about is like a disaster preparedness with your family. So, ooh, that's kind of interesting. There's like some kind of all-in-one solar powered thing, but and there's like survival kits. So that's something that I kind of want to mention, even though we saw those because we didn't quite narrow it down to the books yet. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of possibilities here, right? Urban preppers, disaster preparedness. So, family, disaster and emergency preparedness, and urban preppers. Okay. And, okay, so having seen that, what we're going to do is we're going to narrow this down to books that are Kindle books, okay? And so let me just kind of write down some ideas I'm seeing, right? So like what equipment I need. Do I need that all-in-one kind of stuff? So what equipment do I need to be ready for a disaster with my family? And we'll close that down. And I mean, like cell phones, like a solar charger. Like, what's the shopping list, right? And then, so like, what's the shopping list? I saw like what do I need to know about emergency food, water, and filtration. I saw that in the list here. And like what skills do I need, including first aid, right? Like what skills, oops, and we'll make sure to right align this. So, right aligned. How's it going, Mr. Roger Eastlick? Thanks for the compliment. So then we'll say, so there's what skills do I need to know, including first aid? Or what skills do like does each person in my family need to know, including first aid? And okay, so we'll see what. Okay, so that blog post isn't loading. That's fine. Okay, great. So now that we've narrowed down this list here to just the Kindle books, now we'll open up some of them in the tab and look at the reviews and look at the table of contents in these books. So preparedness, 100 reviews, 100 reviews. These are all awesome. And we'll look at that one as actually, you know what? We'll look at a bad one. We'll look at one that doesn't have a lot of reviews to kind of see what people are saying about it. So we'll open up that one as well. So we have a lot ready, and I want to look at that bad one first. It had like a green cover and there was like a family in the car screaming or something. And I want to see what people have to say about that in the reviews, especially the bad reviews. So still 108 reviews, okay. And what we're going to do is see all the reviews and see what people had to say about it. So we'll see that. So I guess don't get political. Don't call people terrorists. And canned soup and stuff like that. And this is the bug out bag, stuff like that. So I'll make a note of that. Is what specific items do I need in my bug out bag, and what do I need to be ready? Actually, you know what? Like, I'm thinking, like, what are specific scenarios, right? Like, what specific disaster scenario should I be concerned about? So, like, if there's like a, I don't know, like a martial law in some countries, if there's like a flood, a fire, an earthquake, a hurricane. I guess we could kind of put that in like with the flooding, right? Hurricane, fire, earthquake, and let's see. So where was that? So let's see. Freeze dried, power outages, riots. That's exactly what I was looking for. So power outages, riots, and survival skills. We talked about that. A shelter, pets. Ooh, so yeah, there's like the pets, and including, first aid, pet care, etc. And like, what do I need to be ready with my family, and how is this different than generic like prepping and disaster preparedness? Uh, what's the shopping list of things I need to buy? So then specific disaster scenarios and skills. And so let me look at the critical reviews. Okay, so currency, so not impressed, common sense. So, okay, so something else to think in mind of, if you teach something that could be construed as common sense, sort of have an interesting twist to it, so that people know that it's, even though it's basic, it's important. Okay, so I guess a lot of it is just people who don't like the paranoid, the stuff like that, and okay, so then we'll look at this person's table of contents. We'll click on the cover. And let's see what we have in the table of contents section. So lots of just little things, but and they should have grouped more things together, right? So like cooking, fuel, heating, water. Okay, so what do I need to know uh, about cooking and fuel? And let's see, water purification, food stockpiles, toilets, garbage, knives, pepper spray, like weapons, right? Okay, so about cooking and fuel. What should I plan as far as like toiletry needs? I saw. What equipment do I need for weapons, i.e., small knives or something like that? And flashlights, um, hygiene. Okay, so toiletry needs, hygiene, flashlights, etc. And like like I'm thinking like how many days should I plan for, or what specific scenarios should I plan? And I guess that's like the disaster scenarios, the concern about, um, and how long. should I, like, how many days of a disaster should I plan for? Okay. And so there's like the children part of it, there's the pet part of it, there's a flood, there's a fire, there's a tornado, volcano. Okay, so martial law, flood, fire, tornado, volcano. And that's crazy that that book devotes whole sections, but I guess that's good for if we want to expand it later. Nuclear blast, terrorist, EMP, geez. Blast, terrorist, EMP. So I'm seeing all this, I'm just thinking like, okay, well, no, that means that we can put the other thing in its own, what are specific disaster scenarios, and like what, I guess what, yeah, I guess I'll just keep it like that. All right, so let's not take too much time on this. Let's look at some other books. So this other one has the introduction. So, like CERT trained ham radio. So we're gonna say what skills. So we'll say first aid, pet care, CERT, ham radio. Okay. And gold firearm. Let's see. Safe room, hydrating. Okay, so let's see. Gold weapons. We'll just put that in the weapons one there. And batteries, not tying. So water, shelter, and filtration. Not tying, first aid, and radiation, weather radio, house. Awesome. So I mean, it's kind of interesting how there's like I like the specific scenarios, right? And so those are the scenarios, and then like what should my response be to the most common disaster scenarios, and how many days should I plan this for? Okay, so this big honkin' one, let's see what we have. This, so water shell. So this is a little more the way that I would do it. This is a little more structured, right? Staying alive, so like the immediate thing: food, water, shelter, light, power, heating, air, sleep. So this is like in sort of in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the basics to the more luxurious stuff. So there's the equipment, there's the scenarios, and so I kind of just want to say like how like what steps should I take to make sure me and my family stay alive the first few days of a disaster scenario. And then they moved on to, let me put this in the right order here. So water, food, water, shelter, light. So food comes first. Interesting. So water, food, shelter, water, filtration, food, shelter, and light. And then flashlights, right? Because here's the equipment, okay? And then power, heating, cooling, air. So what do I need to know about power, heating, cooling, and air? Because I guess that would be the order we'd want, right? Is that power to provide heat and also have the cool, and then communication, and then radios. We'll just fit it in that one. Okay. So then preparedness, survival guide for beginners. So the specific like blizzard. Oh, there's a blizzard in here. We'll see. Flood, fire. I mean, that would be a fun chapter to write. All the things that could go wrong, right? Okay, and check out the table of contents. Types of disasters: mentally prepared, sounds like filler. Physical readiness, kind of filler. Supplies, so now we're talking. All right, so essential emergency supplies. So this is what supplies and equipment. And let me see what we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So we're just about done it, and I'm gonna flip through a couple others: electricity, fuel, gardening. So cooking, fuel, and gardening. All right. So I'm just gonna flip through this a couple more, and we'll say see, so we're on to something. Food, water, shelter, light, power, heating, air, sleep. So someone might have actually ripped off the other table of contents. Or maybe this is a different edition. Okay, shit hits the fan prepping. I'm assuming that's what that stands for. And long-term survival, 20 skills, 100 tips, 77 items. Uh, all right, so I kind of like that idea. Like there's like some sort of tip. What should my response be? Like, what tips are important, or what should I plan? Okay, great. So that's about done. And this person is talking about holistic stuff and Reiki. I'm sorry, Kate. And so I'm just going to keep going and assume that we're talking about family disaster preparedness. And so now we have these 10 items, and we need to reduce down to 7, either by flat out deleting or merging some of these things. And so I can look at this and say supplies, what to do, and water filter. Okay, so I think equipment, disaster scenarios to plan for, right? How to stay alive, what should be, how many days. Um, so we'll combine these two. So thanks for the compliment, Melanie. So we'll say, what steps should I take? Like what should I take? Uh, let's see. And how many days should I plan for? So we delete that one. What skills and tips? Water, food, cooking, power, and the bug out bag. Okay, so I'm thinking that the weakest link in this is the bug out bag section. So I think we're going to move it into, let's see, the toiletry, right? So let's see, what are the gotchas, and what goes in my bug out bag? So toiletry needs flashlights, and we'll put gold, weapons, radios, etc. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll just combine these last two. We'll say cooking, fuel, gardening. Well, it's a lot. Skills. We'll combine skills and initial steps, right? So we'll say what. Actually, let's see. We'll start with this one. So we'll move that one up, and we'll say and what step. So kind of a long bunch of questions there, but at least this way the book will sort of pour itself out of us. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now just one last pass to see if we're happy with the order of things. So we'll say, first of all, what are the scenarios? All these things could go wrong. And then we'll say what supplies and equipment, what skills, the bug out bag, and then water. let's see. Yeah, water, cooking, and then power, because that seems to be the way to go. So there we go. So that next, what we'll do is we'll just flesh out the 2 minute talking points, and we'll say I want to talk about 2 minutes of the what, or 2 minutes of the why before that. Why, what, how to, what if. And that's what we would normally do if we were stuck about this, but it looks like, so for this, we can just say why, let's see. So why should I be prepared for the worst to happen? And then uh, what are some, let's see, what are some emergency or categories of emergencies, like, flood, earthquake, etc., that I need to know about? And then we can say, what are some specific disasters that happened that no one was ready for? And we'll say, like Fukushima or New Orleans, or if you have something that's like, super like specific, but maybe people don't know about, maybe like 3 Mile Island, I don't know, specific things. And then what if I'm aware of the problem? What do I need to do next? And that leads us into the supplies and the equipment. So that is my thought process from going from just this basic prompt that it's disaster planning for families, and we kind of looked at the competitors, looked at the reviews, figured out 10 talking points, narrowed it down to 7, and then fleshed out why, what, how to, what if in each one, or if something better fit in those categories, then that's great. And we just went through the list and we decided on the first chapter, where you speak out 8 minutes, so that's 2 minutes of each of these talking points. The first chapter is what sort of things could happen, like floods and stuff like that. Then for 8 minutes, we talk about what supplies we need, especially for the family, like you might need stuff for the baby, or stuff for the dog, or stuff for grandma. Next, what skills do I need to know? Like, do I need to know how to tie certain knots, or first aid, or get a ham radio license? What goes in the bug out bag? What do I need to know about making water clean, or finding water, emergency food, how to make a shelter, things like flashlights and extra clothes in the bug out bag? Next, what do I need to know about cooking and propane and planting a garden? And then what do I need to know about not freezing to death, and actually having some electricity after the apocalypse, or after whatever sort of disaster happens? So I hope that helped, Kate, sort of give you my thought process to flesh out that book. And man, even I'm sort of excited. I'm not going to steal this from you, but even I'm sort of excited about making this. So I hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye.